Welcome back to another episode of Your Daily Real Estate. I'm Tristan, and this episode's brought to you by my book, Pick It Up, Real Estate Prospecting, Amazon, Barnes & Nobles. Now let's get into this. This one, I think, is a special episode, and that's because I'm going to recommend 5 books for you to read in the current changing atmosphere of real estate. I do believe that things are going to change, even though I keep on saying, hey, look, things aren't changing. They're still the same. What I mean is, things aren't changing. It still takes hard work to succeed. We're just going to have to pivot. But on the other sense, where things aren't changing, well, they actually are. And here are the 5 books that you need to be reading right now to recalibrate where you're going, reimagine who you are, re-envision your future, and to just buckle down and connect with people at a level where you can build relationships that'll last a lifetime. Here we go. Number 1, and they're in order, all right? So if you want to start in order, this is your goal. 5 books this year. These are it. Number 1, This is Marketing by Seth Godin. When I watched this start to unfold, I picked up the book on Friday. The announcement, I think, came up on Thursday, March 15th, I think it was. March 16th, I picked up This is Marketing. I started reading it. I finished it. I refinished. It's not a big book. You can read it in a day. I read it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Took a lot of notes. Looked at my old notes. This is the 3rd time I've read this book, and I felt like it was the perfect book. And I know that is the perfect book for this current market that we're going to get into. The current challenges, just the way the world works with real estate. Things are changing. I want you to be prepared. In fact, I want you to study these books. Don't just read them. Slow down, think deeper, take notes, identify what your actions are going to be when you're reading this book. This is Marketing. Man, this hits at the core of everything. It's like people like us do things like this. This is who we are, and you're not going to reach everyone. You're going to reach your specific niche, and that's okay. That one's number 1. Number 2, How to Win Friends and Influence People. An older book, Dale Carnegie goes through the principles in the book, and I just finished reading that one 3 days ago. That one I read on Kindle, and I turned up the Audible while I was jogging. So I kind of scrolled through. It scrolls through automatically. By the way, if you didn't know that, you could download both the Kindle version and the Audible. And at the very bottom of the Kindle version, you click download, and it downloads the Audible. And then you can read. It reads it for you, and you can 2x the speed. And this is, for me, again, the 3rd time I read this book and highlighting it. I'm highlighting the right sections. Man, this hits at the core of everything. The human aspect of relationships. It's very similar to the 3rd book I'm going to recommend. And I didn't piece it together until I was writing this list of books that I'm reading, studying, going deeper with. And How to Win Friends and Influence People. At the core, is just reminding you that humans want to be made feel special. They want to feel special. They want us to make them feel great. They want to connect with people who make them feel amazing. And throughout the whole book, you realize it's like, damn, I can do that. How do I want to make people feel? I'm always asking that question. And I don't even know where I got it. It was probably from reading this years ago. But How to Win Friends and Influence People, core book this year. I want you to study it. I want you to go deep with it. Number 3, Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. This is the book that after I'm in the middle of rereading this one right now. And as I'm going through it, I'm like, man, was Dale Carnegie, was he an FBI hostage negotiator? Because they sound the same. It's like, I feel like I'm reading the same book, just different generations. So How to Win Friends and Influence People. Number 2, Never Split the Difference. If you haven't read that one, if you have, still reread it. It's all about connecting with people, going deeper, listening, It's not about you, it's about them. The more you make them feel like it is about them, the more they open up, the more you connect, the deeper you can go. It's a great one. Next, number 4. And this one, let me see here. I'm trying to remember way back. This one I've read 2 times. I haven't gotten to it again, but now that I'm reading This Is Marketing, I reminded me, I'm like, damn, I've got to put this one on my list, because every time I read it, I think, wow, how did I not catch that the first time? Or when I hear him say something, I'm like, was that in the book? Number 4 is Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And these are books you probably read, and if you haven't, it should be in your library, as far as you need to highlight, bookmark, take notes, go deeper, and study it. Like if you're in college, if you're in high school, you're going to better yourself. You're going to better the people around you. You're going to attract more, and you're going to get clarity. Start With Why. Man, this book gives you the clarity, because it makes you stop and think. It's like, why am I doing this? Why should I be doing this? Am I in the right path? Amazing book. Read it, study it. Number 5, Real Estate Prospecting. Yes, it's my book. I mean, it is my podcast show, and I'm pushing it. Why? Because I lay out the blueprint for you. I tell you your routines. I go into actually outlining the blueprint that I use to succeed in real estate consistently over and over. And it's all about relationships. We're just layering technology in there, systems, processes, but it's about relationships. It's about how you talk to people. It's about how you make them feel important. Read that one. And I'll give you a bonus one if you have time and you're like, Tristan, I read some of these. Give me a different one. I would add 2 to this, only because it's by the same author, and they are absolute classics, gems. Both of them are by Jim Collins, and I forgot the second author on it, but just look up Jim Collins. It's Good to Great and Built to Last. Both of them are core books in my library that I've gone over many times. A lot of the stuff that I talk about out there, like the hedgehog concept, right? Or the different levels of leadership, all are attributed to those 2 books. If you've read any of these, go and jump on Jim Collins. Amazing. But make sure you read them in the correct order. There is an order. I'm drawing a blank right now. You're just going to have to Google, which one do I read first? Hopefully you pick these up, and then you let me know what you think. And if you have one that's a favorite that you'd love to add for this year for other people, let me know. This is one session of many that I'm going to do throughout this year, and saying, hey, you guys should also read these. But for now, that's it. I'll talk to you tomorrow.